Man, it's been a good long while since we got any reveals, hasn't it? Normally by now there'd be tons to talk about with full pictures and everything, but not this time. Well, let's tempt fate. We will see how powerful my curse really is. If today or tomorrow we get some leaks, I don't want to hear any disbelief that I'm cursed ever again. Anyways, your likes! Please give. And if you enjoy this video by the end and you aren't subscribed already, please consider it. So, mostly what we have today is one or two figures with pictures and then a leaked listing for 2024 by one of the most reliable people in the community. Let's start off with the figure that I just missed last time, Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Mirage. And no doubt, this looks a lot more like the character than the mainline one, largely because the only thing the mainline shares with the design is a belt buckle. And I've got a couple questions. Like, why in the love of God is his head designed to be misshapen? Like, if that's just what a specific car part looks like, then congrats guys, it's one that no one's ever seen before in their lives. So you didn't have to conform to its real shape. Also, they are Transformers, and movie ones at that. Their bodies flay into a billion pieces and reform into whatever they want, and he specifically is even more like that than normal. So even if people did recognize it, no one would have batted an eye that it's wrong. And if it's not an actual car part, then you just made it look like someone took a baseball bat to his head for no reason. Why would you do that? And then the arms have got to have the goofiest choice of all time applied to them. They made his arms the windows. Not the doors with the windows in them, the actual windows. And for some reason, Hasbro just can't bear to make windows out of opaque plastic unless it's dead end for some reason. So they couldn't paint the clear plastic of the arms since that would blot out the windows. So now he's just got clear jellyfish arms, which would make a lot of sense if Mirage's power was still turning invisible, but it's not. So what the fuck? This thing looks like an absolute cluster bomb as well. The legs are just made out of an assortment of car parts in a way that I can't say I've ever quite seen before. And then there's the hefty chonk factor here that the character didn't have in the movie. I don't know why these two pictures exist, but am I crazy or is the head bigger on the one with the lower shoulders? How the fuck does that work out? And then real quick, let's talk about the premium Dinobot and Tarantulas. Honestly, I can't think of a figure that needed the premium treatment more than Dinobot. I mean, this still needs way bigger biceps, but the whole problem with this figure from the beginning was a desperate lack of paint. So this is just fixing that utter disservice, just like I did with my Digibash. Except, you know, still noodle arms. This, I think, is important, because over time, my opinion of the figure has kind of lessened. It's not the best transformation, it's not the best poser, and with the borked up colors in the balloon chest, he just didn't look right. But these new pigments are slimming. Though, weirdly enough, I think they used the toes off Raw Chicken Dinobot. This just has a lot more panache than the regular one, and I'm quite happy to see it. Meanwhile, I can't tell if they changed Tarantulas at all, which is fine because that figure was already top tier without the paint. This was not the guy who needed fixing for the 2-pack. Alright, now I'm going to make you all wait for the part that you're probably all excited to see. Let's move on to the leaked listings. For starters, there's going to be a core Energon Galvatron, which is a weird thing to call it because Energon Galvatron is just regular Galvatron. Maybe it turns into something like a space jet that will be easily retooled into a regular Galvatron cannon, or maybe he's just going to turn into a cannon that can kind of look like a jet a bit, and they just want to act like they are making more Unicron Trilogy stuff than they are. Then we've got Core Rock 2, which I've heard at least someone suggest that the Core Rocks are going to be Rock Lords, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I just don't see them doing the Rock Lords. Yes, let's introduce a failed line of toys that never sold 40 years ago from the waning years of fucking GoBots. It's not impossible, but trying would be like saying, man, I really want to make some money, so I think I'll punch myself in the dick. I get that right now Hasbro's design team is a bunch of fans who are greenlighting basically whatever they think would be cool, but even then, I don't see this as being likely. If they ever tried, an executive would probably just walk into the design room and slap them being like, our stock has already been triple degraded! No! Bad! Then we've got Deluxe Slipstream, and being a deluxe jet, I'm hoping I'm wrong here, but I'd be willing to bet that they're doing this as a retool of Needlenose, which wouldn't fit at all and would look absolutely awful, but we've seen them put girl heads on male bodies before and then act like everything is fine, so I will not put this past them. Maybe it's a new mold? Doubt it. A what? What, sideburn? No way! It's not like Shadow Striker's a perfect example of exactly what I was just talking about, being the most obvious pre-tool of a male bot of all time. No joke, I am writing these as I read them. I did not know this would be the very next thing I talk about. Shadow Striker looks bad. This too will probably be very bad. What with the horrid parts forming and the completely wrong alt mode. I get that the Dodge Viper was probably not in your licensing budget, but why would you make this mold into an ugly sedan? They are pretty much as different as the two cars could be. Okay, G1 Quake as a deluxe is interesting because the only deluxe tank we've gotten in years was Warpath, and quite frankly, I do not see them using that for this dude. I mean, it would be about as off as Deluxe Slipstream, but still, this is a male character, and in this fandom, they get their own molds and females don't unless they're RC. Watch, Deluxe Slipstream is just another retool of Power of the Prime's Moonracer, and everyone is angry. Animated Motormaster originally made me look at this list with a really jaundiced eye. Like, I flat out did not believe it, and thought this was a hoax like seems to be happening more often. Then I found out who leaked it, and now I'm just baffled. I guess it really is just a bunch of fans doing whatever they want over there at Hasbro right now. Because legal should have dragged them into the documents room, slapped them and chastised them like a puppy who just peed on the carpet. You just did Motormaster, guys. Copyright on him is good for another 4 years. You shouldn't have to worry about putting this out till like 2026. Apparently they're doing this because they're also making an animated Optimus Prime, but I didn't know that. I would be so fucking happy if it wound up looking more like Lexto Draws Stuff's interpretation rather than the show one. Metalhawk package refresh, nothing new there. Then we're getting a Starseekers line. And guys, do you know who was a Starseeker? Flame War. Hopefully this means they'll release a version of this that's not leader price. Capsule 1, we got nothing to go off of. Road Pig. $20 says this is yet another retool or flat repaint of Legacy RC. Probably with a Road Rocket head. I mean, best case scenario, this is actually made out of the Crash Bar, but yeah, they're gonna do another Legacy with this, guaranteed. Lockdown. 90% chance this is going to be a retool of Axle Grease. Hilarious that this is the store exclusive one. I'm sure that won't piss off absolutely everyone. A weaponizer does make sense for this dude, honestly. My question is, does this make me right or wrong about the poster? It's Axle Grease on the poster, but the mold did get turned into this dude. After this point, I got no fucking clue who any of these people are. Filch, I kind of know because she was in one of the episodes of Rid 2015 I actually did watch, so my only guess is another Air Razor retool, but how much cooler would it be if she was the mainline Rise of the Beast one? Otherwise, if it's a Cybertronian mold because they aren't going with the whole the Decepticons are furries angle that Robots in Disguise for some reason did, then this too I'd say is probably a retool of Needle Nose. Okay, Ferric, obvious simple Cyclonus repaint. It's a Voyager, no way in hell that's not what this is. Maybe they give him a slightly retooled head with new bunny ears, maybe not. Hopefully they'll finally fix the melting Glenn Clonus face. Thundertron. Maybe a Cheetor or Tigatron retool? But it's a leader. Are they going to do a new mold for this thing that no one knows? For an exclusive line that can't be retooled into anything else? Where's my executive hand? Someone needs to get slapped for wasting money. And based on the last sentence of all this, there's going to be a separate second Thundertron who's a Voyager? What? I mean, that's probably going to be a Tigatron retool, but what psycho on the team insisted that there needed to be 2 Thundertrons? Okay, Steeljaw was delayed till 2024, then there's Movie 6 Frenzy. What? There was no Movie 6 Frenzy. There was no Rumble. There was only Ravage. The disgraced Pablo Jack will be here. Package refresh of the 86 Nah. Decepticon Infantry, whatever that means. There's a million figures this could be. Next gen Bumblebee. So is that going to be what he looks like in the next movie somehow? Can they see into the future? Is BMAC a witch? Deluxe High Moon Megatron. We just got High Moon Megatron in Voyager scale. Is this going to be the one from FOC? Man, it'd be weird if this is what gets retooled into G1 Quake. Yet another repaint of the Bumblebee Seeker mold, though I swear we already got a Skywarp one, didn't we? A War for Cybertron Ratchet, which is going to be a Voyager. Maybe it's just a scaled up version of the Bumblebee one? Okay, so Movie 8 Optimus, not Next Gen Optimus. What is going on? And how with at least one of these are the designers seeing into the future? The good news is with either the Optimus or the Bumblebee, we will be getting a sneak peek at the designs for the Oops All Cybertron movie. 86 Bumblebee. Thank God we can finally have a Bumblebee that's not based off the shit Earthrise Cliffjumper mold. What are the odds that this will also be a retool of the MP 1.0 Bumblebee? That's it for the listings. There's a good bit interesting in here. But now it's time for the thing that you all want to hear me talk about. Missing Link Optimus Prime. If you have been with me for a very long time, you will have heard me say that I absolutely hate it when a new figure is made to suffer from an old toy's engineering because of toy loyalty. New toys should have new engineering, not crap from 40 to 50 years ago just to tickle the nostalgia of like 1% of the total fandom. So obviously this sucks. But here's the thing though. This isn't a new toy being given old engineering. This is an old toy being given new engineering to become the thing that we always imagined it was in our heads as kids. And you know what? That's actually awesome. For real, this is a brilliant idea. It's not poisoning a new figure, it's improving an old one. And I'm here for it. A chunky old Optimus Prime that moves like a new figure. Hell yeah. What I'm not here for is the price. Jesus Christ, I thought the Earthrise Optimus was overpriced. I know that there's apparently a lot of diecast on this, but like, could you just not with that? I think I speak for most of us when I say we don't really care. I know there's some old fogies out there who still cry about how diecast is a lost art, and I guess they are who you are trying to appeal to. To be fair, this probably won't sell amazingly. It's a niche product for an older, probably more financially well-off demographic. It needs to be a lot to turn a profit based on low sales. I get it, but I want it, and this price hurts me so. Got his Energon axe, which is hilarious to see one of these old boys have, but weirdly, it would actually be easier to include on one of the original figures than it is here. It's got a Matrix too. Man, if you could send this back in time, it would blow people's minds. I love how it took 40 years for Optimus Prime to be able to do the extremely simple and basic pose from his box art. There's a lot of good stuff in here, a lot to be hopeful for. Most of it we only have the vaguest notion of what it's going to look like, but if I had to guess, most of it is going to be good. I mean, some of it is questionable and some of it will probably be terrible, but Hasbro does put out way more good figures than bad ones, even if my constant ranting might make you think otherwise. Now it's time for the monthly shoutouts. If you'd like a shoutout yourself, please just follow the instructions on your screens. Holy Kobold is posting his art to Twitter, and on the 9th of last month was his birthday. So happy birthday, dude! Almost a month late! Fire Ninja just turned 18, so congratulations on making it to adulthood. He kind of wants you to check out his Instagram and YouTube a little. MCP is joining the Navy soon. Best of luck to you. Hope you get either of the jobs you're looking for. He'd also like you to check out his YouTube and Twitter, where he posts his figure photography and videos of animals. King Kyle is back once again, offering commissions to help support his family. Here's his contact info and prices, and he has a message for the LGBTQ community. Things may be hard. Things may not be fair. You may have to fight for rights others wouldn't have to. But you're not alone, and you're not powerless. One day, you, or people like you, will have the lives that you deserve, and it will be because of the path you paved. He also has some charities he'd like you to consider. Shattered is a Transformers reviewer just starting out with only 2 videos, and he's hoping that everyone here would be willing to give him a chance to show you what he's got. He's still learning, but so was I on video number 2, and he's got promise. Tarnished Spark makes stop motions occasionally, according to him at least. And he wants me to apologize to his audience for him and tell you all that Battle at the Museum will be completed within the next 30 or so days. Cohen Kendrick is a very short man. Millie the Pumpkin just turned 17. Happy birthday! I was 17 when the first Transformers movie came out. Life is terrifying. Good luck! Dr. Doogie has delivered to me an ominous message. PerspectiveEnd. The weird cannot be outrun. You cannot escape it, for it is always behind you, watching. And no matter what you do, the weird will consume all you know. Enjoy life without the weird while you still can. They also want you to take a look at their channel where they make stop motions and reviews inspired by yours truly. They've had a run of bad luck lately, so help cheer them up by checking them out. Mr. Transformers fan would like me to shout out about a dozen Transformers channels way bigger than mine. So here goes. Baltmatrix, TFfangeek, JobbyTheHong, Lazlo Ven, MPX 3D Transformers, RodimusPrimal, Chris McFeely, Transformers Reviews Done Quick, Mangmotion, Double Dagger, Captain Pioneer, That Toy Guy, and Thew Adams. And he'd also like you to check out his short on how we should make the Transformers community more welcoming to new fans. Lastly, Dr. Wheeljack wants you to check out his review channel, where he goes extra on his videos and does stop motions as well. And that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough of what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.